Hello and welcome to another nicoflofloLIVE, a daily video. This one a special one because there's gonna be no games. Oh my gosh, no games. Maybe I'll put like Subway Surfers. Maybe I'll put a little lunch lady off to the side so you could look and see and all the above. But the reason why I'm making this daily slump video is because last week I went to the ER. Now, usually the emergency room is kind of like a scary thing to say. But honestly, for me, I was look. I'm gonna settle it. It wasn't that scary, okay? It wasn't too scary. But last week I had a little pain in the tummy, and it kind of hurt. You know, it was like, or it was a little sore. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of weird. I would sit up and I'll be like, oh, that hurts. And then last Friday, when I went to sleep, the pain had suddenly shifted over to my right lower side, like where my tummy is, and it started hurting a lot. Like I couldn't walk at all, and I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of an odd little thing, huh? Obviously I take things with like good heart, so I'm not always too crazy about it, but I was like, okay, yeah, that hurts. If it hurts like this tomorrow morning because it was sore the other 2 days, I'm gonna go ahead and go to like urgent care or whatever. So I hit up my girlfriend. I say, tomorrow, look, there's a chance I go to the urgent care because this hurts. Yo, this hurts. And it was like a stabbing pain. Well, I get up in the morning and it hurts still. And I'm like, oh God. And I like look over to my girlfriend. I'm like, hey, so yeah, we need to go to the urgent care today because this pain hasn't gone away and it still hurts a lot to like move. And she was like, okay, like let's go ahead and do it. You know, it's like obviously in like a bad way, and she was, I think she was more scared of going to the urgent care than I was, because I was like, yeah, let's just get this over with, huh? Let's figure this out. Now, I was worried about appendicitis due to where it was, but at the same time I didn't want it to be appendicitis because I didn't want to go into some like surgery or anything like that. That sounds kind of scary. I don't like surgery or like anesthesia. That is kind of scary to me. So the entire time I'm like, it's not appendicitis. Nah, it's not appendicitis. I go into the urgent care. Nobody there, by the way. Not a single soul there. So I get just immediate help, which is awesome. You know how many times I've gone to the urgent care before, way back when, and there was just a million people there? Like too many times to count. And well, that being said, I got immediately helped out, which was very nice. Told them my little shebang that I just told you. They said, hey, go pee in a cup. And I was like, pee in a cup? Yeah, I saved my piss just for this. That rhymes. Not a crime. But we I go take a piss into the cup. The cup's always warm. I always hate that. But the doctor comes in, and the doctor was real funny. Cool guy. He was like, okay, buddy. Hey, bucko. Like a cool guy. He's like, this is tell me your story again. I gave him the whole shebang. He's like, well, let me tell you, Nico. Let me tell you what I think it is, because I'm like an emergency doctor. I think that you have appendicitis. And I was like, you know what? Appendicitis, like I've seen people have appendicitis before and nobody got the same, like everybody that has appendicitis is literally dying when it looks like they're watching it. So I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure I have appendicitis? I'm not nauseous. I'm not throwing up. I only have this weird pain. And I'm like, okay. He said, I'm going to send you to the ER. I said, okay. He's like, you need to have a CT scan. Okay. I go to my girlfriend. I'm like, hey, we need to go to the ER. She's like, what? You need to go to the ER? I said, yeah, they think I might have appendicitis. My family's all on a vacation right now. So I have to call them in their middle of their vacation and be like, hey, by the way, they think I might have appendicitis. I understand your trip is until Friday. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. And luckily, I saw one of my tias over here. So she actually came around for a little bit. But we head to the ER. We get to the one that the urgent care doctor recommended. And go in there. Immediately out the gate, we go in. And then there's like a security staff. I didn't know how serious ERs are nowadays. Go into the ER, get like, no joke, patted down. Well, I have to put like, it's like airport security. Now, I guess I don't know what's happening in the hospitals, because I just didn't realize that was a thing that happened. But I guess it is how it is. You know. Obviously, I barely even go to the doctor in the first place. Well, which I'm changing soon, okay? But after our search of our bodies, we go up to the check-in. I give him my little pink slip that says, hey, this guy needs to be checked out for appendicitis. And I'm like, oh, what's up? The ER nurse seemed like, the dude seemed just over it. He just didn't want to be there. He said, urgent care said you had a little pain in your right side. You're making me go through a CT. I'm like, the guy said he was an emergency, like usually an emergency doctor. So he's probably right. You know, he's probably right about something. He was like, okay, go piss in this cup. And I was like, oh, like you guys don't have my piss from like the urgent care? Like I just came from there. Like I'm all pissed out. And then he was like, yep, just let it rip. And this is where I learned that, like, if you really put your mind to it, you could really piss whenever you want. Catch my drift? You could just piss. If you really think about it, it actually worked, because I didn't even know I had that much. Sorry, let's stop with the piss talk. But I was surprised. So round two out the gate. I was like, damn, okay, I see how it is. Go. Do that, wait for a little bit. Also, the ER, fun fact, also completely empty. Apparently there was a lack of emergencies for that day. There was like 5 people in there. Usually I would imagine a ER is like chock full, like at all times, but yeah, whatever, easy peasy. I'm getting the express trip. I'm taking the fast track. Go into the doctor, get the nurse. They take all my stuff. They take it. They take my blood to like vampires. And usually I'm not very good with blood. I think. Well, no, I'm not scared of blood. I'm not scared of needles. I don't want to look at it because I'll probably flinch and then hurt myself. But one time when I was like young and I was like 16, I had my blood taken and I like whited out and passed out and threw up. So I didn't want that to happen again. And I think it's because when I was a kid, like 16 to 18, I refused to eat any sugar at all. And if you don't have any sugar, you pass out. Usually that's just the way it works. That's why. And once I started bringing orange juice with me, that's when I was young, I was able to do it. Nowadays, I'm a sugar. It's all in the stomach. I weigh too many pounds. That's just facts. But they do that. The doctor comes in. I give him my whole shebang. Hey, 2 days sore in the stomach. Yesterday and today. Strong pain on right side. He said, you know what that sounds like? Appendicitis. They're both this guy. They're both the same guy. They were both very chill. I appreciated it. But it was like, hey, bucko. This is what I think it is. Here's the thing, though. Like, the entire time, it felt like they were trying to convince me that it was appendicitis. And I knew it was appendicitis, but I just didn't want to act like it was appendicitis, you know? Because I don't want to go, like I said, I don't want to have surgery. I don't want to do that. That sounds whack. But I'm like, I'm still not having any of the other symptoms. So he says, okay, we're going to put you on an IV, get you all hydrated and stuff. And then we're going to send you to go get a CT scan, which is also my very first CT scan ever. Kind of cool. They set me up with an IV. They get a needle that's just chilling in my arm. And then my Tia Elsa came over and checked on me. We had a nice little talk and it was a good time. But yeah, the entire time I also had my girlfriend with me. And she was so much, when we got into the ER, when we were in the thing, she was so much more uncomfortable than I was, which I thought it was kind of cute. I actually liked it because, I don't know, it doesn't bug me when someone's like, being scared of a hospital is probably like a pretty big fear for most people. But she was doing so many cute things, like just dancing along. I have a picture that I'll probably put up like right here of me in the hospital. Just chilling out, you know. But I was just striking up conversations with the nurses. The nurses were very nice. One of them switched shifts. There, you know, I always try to be as nice as I can to people that are actively trying to help me, which is it's something that will come up later. Okay, we get ready to go. They get a wheelchair over to me and they said, "Hey, it's time for your CT scan." I said, "Okay, let's do this." I get on. Nice, very nice nurse. She was talking to me. I was like, "Hey, like I've never done this before. Is it easy?" They're like, "Yeah, you get this iodine or something, iodine, I don't know, something in your blood, or that's like a contrast, and it makes you feel like you need to go pee." And I was like, "Oh, that's interesting. That's kind of interesting. Like it makes you feel warm, like you've done it." And I was like, "Oh, okay. That's fine." And we're just sitting there chatting as we get to the CT machine. And then I think they're called radiologists, the people that do the CT scans. Also a pleasant soul, and does sounds like I like to do, where she's just a fun person, it seemed like she was cracking jokes. I was like, this is sick. Like this is a great experience that I'm having. Like I'm just having a good time cracking jokes with some random people I do not know, but they're good. And then the radiologist told me like, "Hey, this is for women, it feels like they peed their pants, but for men it feels like it's rectal," which I don't know why she said rectal, when she could have just said like your butthole is gonna feel weird, or the inside of your butthole is gonna feel weird. And I was like, "Okay, I'll let you know, so you can put on your tally what it is." And I mean, getting up to that machine, by the way, like the machine is so freaking long. And I got in and I was on the pillow, and the pillow was like in the middle of my back. I was like, "Oh yeah, this is just the way it's supposed to be." And then the radiologist came out and was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, you put me here. Isn't the pillow supposed to be here?" And she was like, "No, get more comfortable here. We're going to put on your back." And I was like, "Okay, okie dokie." That's the way our jokey, you know? And so we start the scan. That machine, I'm not scared of it, but like it was kind of crazy because you can actually see the inside of the machine kind of turning, and it gives you some breathing things. Now, I didn't know what kind of breaths to do. I'm a musician, so whenever I do a big breath, I'm like, is that the breath that they're looking for? They're looking for like a human, like kind of like a sip type thing. Because I was doing the full musician, I was going, I don't know if you heard that, but that's a lot of air. That's a lot of air compared to, which is funny because it's also that's a sipping drill from the breathing gym. Good to know that. Yeah, so we are in there, get the scan done, cracking jokes. The radiologist, or whatever they're called, it's like, "Oh, you've been very pleasant. Like you've been a good time." And I was like, "Isn't most people like this? Like, are most people like, I don't know. I mean, I guess they could be more in pain than me, but I mean, I would probably still try and be doing my best to be a good person." And she was like, "You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people that like are sick and they just don't feel like they use it as an excuse to kind of be mean." I was like, damn. Because, and I said it the way it is. I was like, damn, the people that I do not want to be messing with while I'm sick are the people that are actively helping me. That's the only people that I'm gonna be nice to explicitly all the time, because I would prefer to have the best care. You know, I don't want to. I'm not gonna go under any toes or anything. That's not the saying, but yeah. That happens. We go back. We have to wait like 45 minutes. I'm sitting there in pain, losing beer pong on the phone to my girlfriend, who's also doing funny dances because she's worried that we're gonna have to stay there over the night. And then that's when we get our diagnosis. Our guys, the Hey Bucko man that I thought was really cool, comes in. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "Oh yeah, you know, just the same old, just a little, just a little pain, you know." He said, "Well, here we go. You don't have appendicitis." Or honestly, the relief, because the entire time I was like, I do not have appendicitis. I do not want appendicitis. This is not appendicitis. Like, I would have more symptoms or something like that. Even though apparently it's a very textbook case of appendicitis to have a sore middle stomach and then go to the bottom right. That is apparently just a regular thing that happens in appendicitis. He said you have this other condition where like it feels like these little pockets in your colon are getting strangled. And it's a rare condition. I see 5 of them a year. And he said, I see 20 appendicitis cases. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm like a rare Pokemon card. He said, rare for the ER. I was like, dude, come on, let me have this win. I have a rare condition or a rare random sickness. Okay, like let me have it. And he was like, do you want to go home? Do you want to go home? I was like, it like as if like cheering me on. I was like, yeah. Doctor pulls out the fist. I'm like, yeah, fist bump. I still got freaking needles in my arm. And I'm like, oh, I'm so happy that I get to do this. But then they give me some, like, they tell me to go to my pharmacy, get some medication, some crazy medication. And yeah, we drove home. Still hurts a little, but not like that much compared to like last week. But yeah, they gave me like 2 medicines that were like, here, take this if it's a 1 to 4 pain, and take, or 1 to 6 pain, and take this one if it's a 7 to 10 pain. And the 7 to 10 pain one looked really scary, and I had to get other drugs to make sure that I didn't like OD or something. And I was like, like that's scary. I didn't even touch it. I just stuck to my ibuprofen 600 milligrams to really ease out the pain, and honestly it did a good job. So that's that was my little ER story. Thank you for watching, and tomorrow maybe I'll upload an old highlight of me opening some Pop Mart stuff, because one of the most recent hobbies that I've had is going to Pop Mart and getting some Pop Mart things. So thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day.